So I was looking at Jynxzii stream yesterday and he was playing against Onepixel. Jynxzii I think plays Rainbow Six Siege and a couple other games, and they actually played a chess game against each other. I just wanted to break that game down. So we have real One playing with the white pieces, and he actually plays a hippo setup. So if you didn't know, the hippo is where you fianchetto both of the bishops. You put the A and H pawns together like this so that nothing lands on G4 and B4. You also put these two pawns, D3 and E3, so that the knights can develop to the center. And in general, this is a very passive setup. It is very solid, but I don't think a beginner knows how to play that. Yeah, and Jynxzii actually just so happens to be playing a Karo Khan against this setup, but he should be putting two pawns in the center. Generally, it's the best setup you can get. Your pieces have way better movement, but yeah, instead we have this. So he plays knight to f6, we have bishop b2, and now bishop g4. So this is not a horrible move, but generally not optimal, because this bishop is not doing anything here, and also you can just get kicked out with h3. If the bishop goes back, there's just g4, then it has to drop back again, and maybe you can even play f4, f5 to trap this bishop. So probably not the greatest, but we still have a game nonetheless. So Jynxzii plays e6, so now he finishes his solid triangle setup, and he also has his bishop outside the pawn chain. It's not a completely terrible opening. Yeah, and we have knight to d2, just developing his knight to the center, and we have bishop b4. So Jynxzii really likes to put his bishops to pin the knight like this. He unfortunately, now this is also not a huge blunder, but it just can get kicked out with a3. And in the hippo setup, that's actually what you usually play. So he's essentially playing right into One's setup without even knowing. And he finally plays h3 to kick out the bishop, so he drops the bishop back, and we have knight to f3. So of course he's just trying to develop, but Jynxzii now takes the bishop, and since this knight is pinned, he has to take like this. Technically, bishops are better than knights, but at this level, it basically doesn't matter. Like, I would actually say it's completely fine to trade, because you never know when your opponent might blunder as something else. So Jynxzii just castles, gets the king out of the center, very solid stuff. And now One does play a3 to kick out the other bishop, and he also takes that knight. So Jynxzii essentially traded both of his bishops for the two knights, and Onepixel is actually ending up with the bishop pair, and Jynxzii only has the two knights. Now, still not completely terrible, the game will go on, but as soon as the board will open up, they will become very powerful, just slicing the board like this, and it's probably going to be easier to play with white. Now we have b6 by Jynxzii, and this is kind of the first inaccuracy, if we will. So he's pushing the pawn away from a light square, so now this bishop is a little bit better. His plan was to actually play c5, so he's going to get this very nice pawn chain. But this light squared bishop is x-raying the rook, and as soon as he pushes c5, c4 is going to be a very good move. If he takes, this rook is going to be lost. So Jynxzii has to watch out for that. But we have castles by One, and now c5. So like I predicted, he was going to have this nice little pawn chain. And yeah, One actually plays b4, which is one of the best moves here, attacking the center like this. And Jynxzii pushes c4. So like I already said, this diagonal is very much a threat. And as soon as white takes on c4, he just cannot take back. And he will just end up with a pawn. And he's probably going to capture in the center too, if that happens. But Onepixel does not take the pawn. I don't understand why he didn't see this. I mean, that's to be expected by two beginner players, so I don't really need to hate on that. So he plays e4, and so Jynxzii finds the best move here, which is d4. So he's trying to prepare this a sneaky threat on c3, forking the queen and bishop. It looks like Onepixel has e5, which attacks the rook and attacks the knight at the same time, and will probably win material. But he does have this knight d5 move to save both his rook and his knight at the same time. And not only that, One has to first of all deal with this c3 threat so that he doesn't get forked and lose material. So he should just capture on c4, but he doesn't see it. He just plays e5, but he didn't see c3. And now he has to give up his bishop for the two pawns. And after all of that, he's not even winning any material, since he just has knight d5, which just saves both of his rook and knight at the same time. So white just trades the knight for the bishop, which is not ideal. He should have just dropped his queen back and then played c4, so that way he actually has some counterplay going for him. But he just makes Jynxzii's life easier, and now he plays rook e1, and so we have rook d8 by Jynxzii just getting his rook on this half-open file. He should have instead played his knight to c6 so that the rooks are connected, but we don't have that, and he plays his queen out to c7. His queen is actually almost trapped after Jynxzii plays c6 here, and the only available square for him is b7 now. And let's just say he plays queen b7. Jynxzii actually has this really nice rook move. Rook here, queen has to go here, and then b5 pretty much traps the queen. The queen literally cannot go anywhere. Can't go here, can't go here. All of these squares are just taken. This square is also taken by the knight. And now the threat is to just simply play rook b6. And how do you save your queen then? a4 is just too slow. If you play a4, you can just play rook b6, attack the queen, and you have to just deal with that. Otherwise, your queen is just going to get lost. And at that point, it's just resignable for white. So Jynxzii actually played that rook move that I told you about, and we have queen to a6. And if Jynxzii would have just seen b5 with this idea to trap the queen, it would have been over on the spot, basically. But he didn't see that, unfortunately, and he played queen d4. It's completely fine. Does leave the knight hanging, but it's not attacked right now. And after queen a6, it's okay if you didn't see b5 trapping the queen, but at the very least he should have seen that this pawn would have been hanging. So it's only defended by the rook, but he didn't even see that. He just played queen d4. It's not the worst move in the world. He's not blundering anything, but of course you want to take as much material as possible. So we have queen c4, and now even though Jynxzii is up material, One actually provides him a queen trade, and so now he just infiltrates with this rook, probably going to capture a couple pawns, and f4, and Jynxzii just straight up takes that pawn. It was completely hanging anyway, and f5 by One. So I guess he's trying to put some counterplay. There is no actual counterplay by white here. He could have just taken, and after takes back, he doesn't really have much going for him. So we have rook d8, perfectly fine move, just bring the rook on the open file. And now he plays f6. So f6 is actually pretty interesting. If Jynxzii takes, his king is going to get very restricted. And in the future, there's probably some mating possibilities. And he actually has to watch out for that. So he takes back, and he takes the pawn on c2. And so now he's actually threatening to play rook d2. And two rooks on the 7th rank are just game over, basically. One rook on the 7th rank is already bad enough, and you should get rid of it immediately by something like rook f2. But One is just not seeing that. He's completely ignoring Jynxzii's plans, and now it's just game over. Two rooks on the 7th rank, he's already threatening checkmate. The only way to avoid checkmate is to move this F rook. So for example here. And then after this check, he has to probably like go here, and then check here, and then check here, and then he might get away with not getting checkmated, but it's just very difficult to hold on with white. And he just follows his same plans. I don't even know what he's trying to achieve with these pawns. He probably had to somehow find a way to get a rook onto the d file, but he didn't do that. And now Jynxzii just finds this beautiful checkmate with his two rooks, and the game is just over. I think he's been grinding the last month, and he's playing a chess game, at least one chess game every day. And it's actually very nice to see people outside of chess try this game out. If you managed to learn something from the video, or you enjoyed my analysis, consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot. Otherwise, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.